Following are some images from Australia which were borrowed from another online site. They will surprise you. The original article was called Australia Land of the Nope, and this is some of the text from the article. This is the first image. It's pretty easy. These are some large hail that are bigger than billiard balls. They're large enough to hit or kill you. And it jokes in the bottom here about what did Australia do to make it a land of nightmares. And it talks about the snakes and the spiders we're about to see. This is the gray-headed flying fox. It's a mega bat native to Australia. They're not dangerous because they're supposed to eat just nectar and pollen from eucalyptus trees. But look at it stare. Far away, this looks like a crocodile crawling up your house, but it's a type of a giant lizard. It's a lace monitor, probably looking for some rats to snack on. Could you imagine that on your house? This is a huntsman spider that is commonly found in Australia homes because it controls the cockroach populations. They don't bite humans unless they are provoked, and they aren't venomous. I don't know what to say about cockroaches. This is not a weird beehive, it's an Australian pine cone. It's big enough it can kill you, weighs around 40 pounds, and they've been nicknamed the Widowmaker if they fall on your head. And instead of jaws, they call this giant crocodile chompers. The rivers of Australia are filled with these massive creatures. They can be 17 feet long, the largest was 20, they can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. And you think he's aware of the massive stick bug on his head, on his shoulder, and it's the stuff of nightmares. It's supposed to be harmless. Some people even use them as pets. But look at the size of that stick bug. And this is how Australians make sure their electricity meter doesn't get red. You wouldn't want to be the employee who had to encounter this. Look at all that all over it. And when toddlers are learning how to potty train, it can be scary because of stuff that might be in the toilet, and this is a nightmare of it. Look at all those snakes in that, and look at it get worse with the size of that snake. And then remember ants on a log? Well, this is frogs on a python, and it looks like the frogs are too lazy and are risking their lives to use the python in transport, but the frogs are actually cane toads, and they're more deadly than that python because they're poisonous throughout their entire life cycle. And you wouldn't want to be anything near this. It's a dead whale that is swelling up and getting ready to explode. When the whale dies, gas builds up inside their stomachs as they decompose, which leads to them usually blowing up. And I'm sure it doesn't smell. This brightly colored thing is the hot pink slug, found only in an isolated forest or an extinct volcano in Australia. While it looks dangerous, it is harmless, only feeds on plants and fruits, and they're actually on the endangered list. And you wouldn't think a frog would be eating a snake, they'd be afraid of it, but not in the case of the green tree frog. It's known to track down large prey, including the occasional snake, which is what this one's doing. And here's another snake in this store, which they don't even seem to be too bothered by it, just having to catch it and take it out, and it looks like it's something they deal with regularly. March of the Hadley caterpillars is a wonderful sight, but you don't want those little fudgy white hairs, because like most things in Australia, caterpillars are poisonous. The hairs can float through the air and cause irritation and itching. Soil must be really rich on Australia with earthworms like this one. Just think of how many fish you would catch with a worm this size. It makes a joke, they say everything's bigger in Texas, but it looks like it's in Australia. And it does look like that giant bullworm from SpongeBob. And this person was going to have to get gas elsewhere because the snake has taken over the pump at this station, and hopefully their car's not on empty yet, so they don't have to fill up at this pump. Could you imagine trying to get gas here? Two people walking along the beach when they saw this sea anemone. You might have heard that word from the Nemo movie when Marlin and Nemo live inside a sea anemone. And they can deliver a powerful sting like a jellyfish, but it's not clear how this one got up on shore because usually they're attached to. And you'll learn a lot from this picture. It has to be checked inside your shoes before you put them on. This small snake is curled up inside a person's crock. They don't know if the snake was dangerous, but it probably would have bit you if you stuck your foot. The last thing you'd want to find in your child's lunchbox is this little snake. It's very deadly. A child asked for snacks, the mom heard snakes instead, and it asked, "What would you do as a teacher if you saw this little poisonous snake in a child's lunch?" And this is what they call a rude snake because he's coming down through the light fixture and even suspending himself over the shower and is asking how did he manage to even get in that light fixture. And look at the size of him anyway. And this is another one for checking the toilet seat. That is a snake so big it fills the inside of the toilet. I don't know how you'd even get it or flush it out. That would be such a trick to do. This little thing, if you've heard of them, besides the giant spiders, Australia has the blue-ringed octopus, which is really the most poisonous animal in the world, I believe. Uh, and I don't know how this person's holding it safely, because if you get stung, all they can do is give you penicillin and hope you get. This is another big stick insect up on the fence. I don't know what to say about it. They blend into their surroundings, so you might not even see it when you get up on it. You realize it's going to be the size of a dog. When you realize this giant spider looks like one of the face huggers from the movie Alien. And would you want to open the door or window again after seeing this size of a spider hanging out there? Turn around, pack your stuff, and move somewhere else. And talking about the megabats, the size of small children, well, here are the prey of those, the boa constrictor, and this joking that the snake must think it's getting Dracula because look at that hand. This is a picture of a termite mound located in northern Australia. Termites are known for building some tallest structures compared to any other animal. The structures are stronger than cement, and it's one of the less scary things it says to find in Australia. And this is a spider that doesn't want anyone using the microwave today. He doesn't care if you're hungry, or if you need to heat up something. You could try poking it with a broom so that it would move, but then it might jump on you and eat your face off, and it's just better to run away. And this is another spider getting bigger and bigger. After this, we're taking Australia off the bucket list. The person who took this picture was visiting Australia for the first time, and his friend had asked how the trip was going. He replied with this picture, and that's the only answer you would need. Like the game of Hungry Hungry Hippos, this frog is lunching down on the snake again. Interesting choice of a midnight snack, but you do what you have to do when you're hungry in the wild. The white body and the black legs of this spider make it much scarier than the other spiders. It is the golden orb. It's scary, but the venom is not strong enough to kill a human, which I guess is why that person was brave enough to put their hand up there to show the size. But it's got venom in it. Every winter, Australians in the southwestern region have to worry about the invasion of the black Portuguese millipedes. This is just one of the many things Australians have to look forward to in the winter. They are creepy and they smell bad. I guess it's a seasonal thing. And what would you do if you felt something crawling up your leg and looked down and found this? And it says you'd most likely be running, screaming, and flapping your legs all over the place. This stick bug probably thought this person's leg was a tree. Luckily, these insects are harmless. That concludes the images from Australia. Plan your trip soon.